Well, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium.
Tonight we've got an AFC matchup on tap
between the Las Vegas Raiders
and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Looking to throw right away. Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
First carry for Najee Harris.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
Well, it's impossible to see the Raiders and Steelers in Pittsburgh and not think of our namesake, the late, great John Madden, and the Immaculate Reception game, which celebrated its 50th anniversary yesterday. It was December 22nd, 1972. So this game, a nice little nod from the schedule makers, no doubt. And the Raiders have gotten a little bit of revenge in recent years. They've won 4 out of 5 and have a 17-13 all-time advantage in the series.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday once the family's all gone back home. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, on the opening drive, he was looking for a big chunk play. Unfortunately, that time, the secondary was ready for it. Charles picked it off. Not only that, they take it the other way for points.
Homework, preparation, research, it all comes back to that, VJ. Scouting your opponent, not just the players but the coaches too, and seeing what they call to begin a game, find out their tendencies. They recognize the early deep ball was part of their opposing game plan, and they weren't caught off guard when it showed up.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
So that time, they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And here's Freiermuth again.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there. Here's Pickett. Finds Pickens out right.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
The Steelers at 3-11 now on the year. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true as well, because this is a club in desperate need of a spark out of somewhere. A big play on offense, turnover, takeaway on defense, something to get them pointed in the right direction. They need it quickly.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd down and goal. Pickett. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Calvin Austin.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, it's Jacobs. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Now Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And another drive starts with them huddling in their end zone, Charles. Where have we seen this before? Very recently, but the last time they had it backed up like this, they took it the length of the field.
Hard to do that once, let alone the idea of doing it twice. But, of course, that's the goal. So, as a secondary deal, get 2 first downs. Help yourself with field position and help your defense out.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Jet sweep. Here's Pickens with it.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Pickett now on first down.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Now a give. Running left is Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Off play action. Pickett. He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Harris running straight ahead. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Pickett. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Pickett.
It's complete to Robinson.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Dialing up another pass here. Pickett.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. Now it's Carr. Rolling to his right. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And a solid run down inside the 30. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Pickett now from the gun here.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Pickett
gonna let one fly for Robinson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers will take over possession here up at the 44.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. But let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. On the defensive end, Cameron Sutton with the tackle. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Carr now to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers?
But it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the third time in this game.
Picked up by Sidney Jones.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And, Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Here's Jacobs on. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
First play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
Flush to his right. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Kenny Pickett,
as the first half is winding down.
And the Steelers will extend their lead here just before halftime. goes extra point, up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. Open man, that's Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he floated one out there, incomplete. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Pickett. Here's Johnson with a reception.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down.
Pickett completes this one to Pickens.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Pickett back to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
On the give, this is Harris. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Escaping the pressure right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick-6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. But right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
Pinheiro's extra point up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw, it's Carr. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Chris Wormley drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now Austin. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On second down, this is Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They hand this off to Harris. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Here's Pickett on second down. He finds Pickens over the middle.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
Steps away. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Straight ahead, it's Sermon.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Eddie Pinheiro on now.
A 33-yarder from the left hash.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He gets this to Devontae Adams.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you try not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a play fake. Carr.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw his Carr. Here's Fuller with a catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
2nd and goal from the 1. Carr keeps it on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Derek Carr scoring on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit.
So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried the sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Carr will look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Back to throw, Pickett. Got an open man, it's Pickens. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out. And we've got them now.
7 yards there and a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Here's Sermon.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Steelers, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.